Hello and welcome back to our second round lead card coverage from the United States Disc Golf Championship here in Rock Hill, South Carolina, presented by Innova Disc Golf. BigSexy commentary here with you, Nate Sexton and Jeremy Koling.
Paul McBeth with a clean 6 down to the front 9. That makes it 27 holes bogey-free for McBeth. Unreal so far. Extending his lead a little bit bigger over Josh Anthon, who had 7 birdies in the front 9, but had 2 bogeys to boot. So only shooting 5 down the front 9, not a bad front 9, but man, if you played that clean, you know, this race would be a little bit closer.
Yeah, absolutely. Hole 10, par 4, 554 feet if you go around the outside. If you go straight at it for eagle, 474 feet. I believe we will see Paul go aggressive at the pin. We'll see what our other players decide. You can either go up that left side or you can go straight at it, but all OBs are proceeding to the drop zone or the previous lie.
554 feet. That is not the distance that it takes to get straight to the pin. It's probably a 400 and...
474.
Oh, 474, you said that?
Yeah, man.
Okay. So it's about 430 or so
to get inbounds.
To get inbounds.
This looks to be inbounds with ease.
Just not even throwing a flex, just a straight driver right at inside the circle. So simple. James has the MD4 lined up here for the layup shot off to the left. Trying to head towards that last tree, which is in the perfect spot. Makes that approach just inside 300 feet, I'd say.
Yeah, I think so.
Close to it. And Josh is going with his star boss.
Going at it.
And he eagled this during the first round.
But not sure this one is doing it. Yeah, turned over too much. He'll be going to the drop zone. Drop zone is about 320.
Mm-hmm. 327, if I remember from my shot yesterday from it. And Zach needing that skip, getting that skip into that really good spot there.
Great shot.
Josh, I believe that is a CE eagle. No, that's not CE. That is just a good shot straight to the bricks there for a tap-in par. Good recovery shot. James Conrad with a bit lower approach than I'm sure he liked. Do not want that 35 to 34 foot look onto the elevated pin here, but
there's a nice shot right to the base.
That's what you're looking for.
Paul for eagle.
Down it.
Wow. So we're 28 holes in. And he's got a 21 next to his name. Mm-hmm. So that's good. Really good.
Yeah, it's really good.
There's a friendly honk.
And James honked back. Did you hear that?
Earlier you got kind of a aggressive honk, and this time a friendly honk.
Mm-hmm.
Good par save from Josh.
Easiest hole in the course, averaging 3.64, I believe. 3.61, so 0.4 under par. Yeah, it's one of those ones you just gotta get it.
Hole 11, par 4, 734. This one has a drop zone as well for all out-of-bounds shots that measures about 290 feet. We're going to see these players really either go hyper-aggressive or really, really safe. There's not really too much of an in-between play. Perhaps maybe for Zach as a lefty, you can kind of do an in-between thing, but it's mostly kind of, are you trying to birdie it or are you just going to play safe and take your 4?
Yeah. We saw Paul go for the roll yesterday. He does not have the same disc in hand. I think he might just be going for the really big landing zone shot. And he's got that turned over, heading towards the tree.
That's not a problem, really.
No, he's safe there. He's just behind the drop zone. Drop zone's 291 feet, I would know from rounds 1 and 2.
He's probably like 320. And James going super safe here with the putter. Ooh, is he going super safe?
Oh,
he's going halfway in between, and that is a bad mistake.
Very bad mistake. And that's exactly what you want right there for that lefty shot. That high stall shot, so it comes to the hillside, doesn't have a chance to skip into the bushes.
Very nice.
Never had a shot of going out of bounds, right at the top of the hill. Perfect shot there from Zach.
Josh with a long turnover. Nicely done. That's kind of a halfway in between aggressive and safe play.
And the wind is down. He could go with the roller, but he's lining up that hyzer shot over the hillside.
This looks really high.
And this can be scary. It can get down towards those ropes quick. It is out of bounds. It's going to be a rethrow.
He can move up to the drop zone, but...
Yeah, actually, I think that would be advantageous. This is pretty high as well. This could be in danger. Nope, hits the hillside and rolls down.
Beautiful
really nice.
Little roll.
Oh, yeah.
20-footer.
Great result there for Zach.
Paul with the Firebird.
This is the Stay Puffed, right?
Yeah.
You don't even mention that it has Oregon on it anymore.
It doesn't anymore.
It doesn't?
The acid rain washed it off.
The acid rain washed off the Oregon.
Yep.
Is this a truth story or not a true story?
Super true.
I have a hard time believing exactly what you're saying, but I'm going to go ahead and take your word for it.
James going forehand from the drop zone. This looks like a wide rim. Gonna have to
really
get this
nice
to sit
play.
down.
Oh,
It does.
Okay.
Sit. It does sit.
Impressive execution there.
Josh is in some danger here. This is going fast.
Oh, no. It's going to be a rethrow from the drop zone. He is throwing his 6th.
I believe so.
This is looking much better here. And he's going to have a tap-in 7. But that lead is going to get wider for Paul as he's putting here for his birdie. Oh, man. 9 down.
-4 through the last 3 holes. And really, the 9, 10, 11 stretch can be an absolute round ruiner. So to come through those 4 down in 3, I mean, that's the stuff dreams are made out of.
He's pedal to the metal right now, and that 1500 from Anthon is about to turn
It's about to shrivel up a
to
little
12.
bit.
So Conrad is going to jump into second place, 8 strokes back. We're not even 30 holes into the tournament.
And I don't know if you've watched much disc golf, but this McBeth guy, not the type to kind of take it easy on you.
Yeah, you give him some breathing room, and he's going to gobble up all that air. He's just going to take it and run with it. So these players better start putting the pedal to the metal.
Hole 12, par 4, 901 feet going downhill. Same rules here. You've got a drop zone for all out of bounds. This is a gettable birdie, but one of the toughest on the course to really commit to, just because it is long and the approach is blind because of that little bit of a hill. So you got to throw big hyzer, really flat shot on the first, and then hyzer ideally as a right-handed player. The green is a little bit slopey as well, kind of right behind the pin from this angle. It drops about 3 to 4 feet. So you're going to have to be careful there with putts, and also that hyzer coming in. If you hit the hill wrong, you can roll.
15% of the field with a triple bogey or worse on this hole.
Wow.
Second hardest hole on the course, averaging 4.65.
Paul doesn't like this. This is heading towards the OB on the other side of the fairway, but it drops quick enough.
Hits the hillside. That's actually right where you want to be.
It's a little short of what he's looking for, I'm sure, but at least it gets down quick enough. That was moving left a little too quick. This is a nice power lefty drive. Really not a lot to worry about for the lefty.
If this hole were reversed, it would be really comfortable for the righties to just go bomb.
Huge.
And
Yeah.
so it's comfortable for the lefties to go huge.
James is comfortable going huge in all conditions.
And he's got the perfect type of shot shape for that. He has that real solid trust with the destroyers. He can put a lot of angle on it and always has them break back. And that is just as big as you're ever going to see that shot, really.
That's easily 500 feet.
And this hole, I believe, was in the top 6 hardest holes yesterday. But it's interesting because 17 and 18 are typically always 1-2. But that's how this course is. Just on any given day, the conditions aren't that different from round 1 to round 2. Honestly, it's hot out, not much wind to speak of. But yet today, the scores are different. And hole 12 is averaging the second hardest hole. And it's just sometimes this hole plays tough. something about the second round. People are trying to be more aggressive. I don't know exactly what it was.
Nice layup shot there. Should be a pretty simple par.
It's a hard hole for a lefty to approach the pin.
Mm-hmm.
That slope is just so difficult on that right to left, or that left to right.
Paul staying aggressive. Setting up another birdie putt. Maybe not.
No.
That is that slope we were talking about. You come in on that hyzer, and I'm sure he is shocked to see the red flag go up there because he knew the weight on the shot was right.
Yeah.
It just takes that little reverse roll, and now Paul's in danger.
And Josh just coming up inches short there of the inbounds area, and both players will have to proceed to the drop zone.
Paul has bogey at best.
It'll be his first drop shot of the tournament so far.
And he's got a tester putt, edge of circle for bogey. Kind of maybe some of the first real adversity he's run into.
Yeah, I mean, you can't just play Winthrop with no adversity. It's just not. It's not fair or real.
Certainly not fair.
Mm-hmm. Josh is going to have a long putt for bogey himself. And James going mid-range.
As he does. That's amazing. Probably the only person in the field to go mid-range, to throw a mid-range of any kind on this hole. I don't really see many opportunities for a mid-range.
You could play a layup zone.
That's true.
Yeah, but and he's long with the mid-range, of course, to be noted.
Yeah.
In this shot, we have a little bit higher elevation than Zach. Zach can't see those rocks under the basket, so that depth perception is pretty difficult. Not the easiest layup, but...
Perfect, though. Yeah, it's kind of one of those ones that scares you a little because you could get the weird roll.
Mm-hmm.
And Josh, oh, man, and that was for bogey, correct?
That was for bogey. Josh is going on a tough stretch right now. He did save the par on 10, but took the double. Or was that a triple? That was a triple on 11, and now he's putting for a double from... It must be at least 25, 30 feet.
Great birdie there from James. And here's Paul to save single bogey. It's a little closer than we first thought.
Oh.
Wow. It wasn't the best putt we've ever seen, but...
Teeter-totters on the edge of
he got
double
it in
and
there.
Single.
Wow.
This is no gimme putt here for Josh's.
The double. I think. Yeah, I think that was for double bogey, wasn't it?
I think that was for 6. Yeah. Man. Back-to-back triple bogeys for Josh. Takes him from 5 under to 2 over, just like that. Wow.
Hole 13, par 5. Today we are in the 1,111-foot position all the way back on the island. Best drive is going to be a long right-hand hyzer, staying away from that out-of-bounds area to the right of the walking path. Then you have the option. Are you going to go big over the parking lot, try to make the island in 2, or are you going to lay up again past the cedar trees and play for the birdie 4?
Surprisingly, this is only the 7th hardest hole. Traditionally, this placement or this hole, no matter where you put the pin, is always in the top 3 or 4 hardest holes. But I think people are kind of wising up, being smarter, recognizing how this tournament or this hole can be a tournament ruiner.
Yeah, you only attack if you're in the really good position, and most players maybe realizing that it's time to take their medicine if they're out of position.
It still averages well above par, 5.25, but it's not those crazy numbers, the 5.5s, 5.6, even 5.7s that we've seen in the past. And Zach
this can't flip up, can it?
No, it's not going to stand all the way up, I don't believe. No, that's not.
If it does, it's absolutely a huge drive, but I don't think it can climb the hill.
It would be the biggest drive ever.
That is close to doing it, but what a hyper-aggressive play.
Yeah, about 8 feet away from being on that car path, which is inbounds. Zach will be able to advance to where he last crossed in bounds.
But that's going to be pretty far back.
It's far back, but it's more generous than in years prior where you had to rethrow.
Yeah.
And Paul with a perfect tee shot there with his destroyer. Speaking of perfect,
Josh needs that one. Try to stop the bleeding here. Get back on those birdies. Great drive.
and Zach is still trying to go for that second landing zone and just put a great move on this.
Yeah.
Wow, what a great shot there. Puts him back in position. Now he's got a great shot to save his par. He'll still have 350 feet or so from where his disc landed, but
James, mid-range, around the outside to the perfect spot.
He's got such good trust with that disc. Man. And it's
fantastic shot.
It's not necessarily a super tight gap, but these players are going like down the middle of it. Great shots from over 300 feet each one.
And here's Paul just stomping down on him even harder, going across into. If he lands on the island here, it's a guaranteed birdie.
And no problem.
That's the easiest birdie ever. He's about maybe 100 feet away.
Mm-hmm.
Jump putted under the basket.
And you saw how great he played that shot. Two beautiful drivers. Seppo 3'd this hole last year. Just think about how much better each shot has to be to do that.
An incredible 3.
Yeah. And he actually had I played with Seppo yesterday. He had about 75, 80 feet.
On the other position, but yeah, right? Or no, his position.
It was to this position last year with the 3.
Wow.
He 3'd the short and the long last year. It's kind of hard calling the 999 position short, but. Oh, speaking of 3, James is trying to ring one up himself.
Unbelievable.
A tap-in birdie, but man, the fireworks are almost lit here.
Josh needs this to just sit down nicely. Looks like it will.
Mm-hmm.
Manageable distance.
And Paul doesn't like his jump putt from 110 feet.
Yeah,
but
it's not in.
It's not in, so
that stinks.
And there's a great birdie bounce back right there. 1 over for the round, but it's tough to come back from back-to-back triples and play this hole well, and Josh did so.
And this is Zach for what would be a fantastic par save.
Count it.
Nicely done.
Just a boring birdie there for Paul. Yawn.
Yeah. Hole 14, par 3, 413 feet going downhill with hazard rules. If you are left of the sidewalk but not on the roped green area, you play from your lie with a penalty. If you do go long into the road, you have a traditional OB rule where you're going to take 1 meter in and play from that spot.
James going for that wide over the Coliseum hyzer.
So wide.
But he's got a lot of height on it. Probably too much spike angle to get that skip that he'd like. It's going to be at that death putt 45 to 47 foot range.
Just how James likes them.
Yeah, he makes more of those than almost anyone. This is a bit tight here.
Death putt as well, a little closer perhaps.
This is the CE Eagle. Josh put this in the bullseye yesterday, and this one he has turned over It's gone straight through the magnolias, but
Nice that it blasted through there. There's probably some really tricky lies with the branches being so low.
those are some of the thickest trees you can ever try throwing through. So, fortunate break for Josh, but that's just going to be a layup for his par.
That's too wide.
It's wide. Does it have the height?
It does.
Does it have the sit?
Yes.
It has all of those things.
Great shot from Zach. Josh lays up for his par. Really no choice. James for the fans. No way.
Don't.
Okay.
I mean, you got a 6-stroke lead. Do you need to run this death putt? Do you have to run this death putt?
Yep.
You got a 6-stroke lead, man.
It's too early to start protecting the lead.
I guess. I mean, good putt, you know?
Zach up and in for birdie. And James in for par. Hole 15, par 4, 539 through the triple mando. This one you're going to want to go with a low driven shot. Distance driver, maybe fairway driver, you really love to have the big skip that the driver will give you. You don't want to go mid-range and just settle down softly. You want to skip over to these trees. Zach probably will go with the forehand, I would think, here.
I've seen some lefties lay down rollers, and we've seen Zach already throw a roller on the 2 holes ago. So, you know, that's a play as well.
Yeah, super difficult green, as you guys have seen before. Tons and tons of tree trunks here. Very important to be on that left side to give yourself the best chance at making a putt.
And Paul is just going to try to smoke a driver through this line here. And, yeah, that just can't look any better off the tee. That is just perfect.
It makes you wonder, like, if you could see through Paul vision in this moment, like, does that gap just look unbelievably big?
Yeah, well, I mean,
he's just on.
He hasn't
he's on
thrown a
fire.
bad shot in
He's
2
on
rounds.
fire.
He had 1 bad break on hole 12, and other than that, he hasn't thrown a bad shot.
Oh, and Zach is super early there. Doesn't miss the mando, so that's good at least. But best case is a par.
And that's fortunate to kind of kick out to the fairway. Gives him a shot to throw something that will get around the corner.
Wow, James goes turnover through there.
Yeah, well, James throws turnovers well.
Yeah, he does.
This shot really comes down to throw the shot that you know you can throw the straightest, the most accurate, the most times in a row. Just putting that bar across the top just changed this hole so much and making this the triple mandatory. And Josh, the big skip off the root there.
That ought to be enough.
Oh yeah, that's a great shot. Give him that straight rock shot to the pin.
Zach going to go with a roller, most likely.
Yeah, cut. Was that a thumb or roller?
Thumb.
Yeah, interesting line there for Zach. I don't think I've ever seen him throw that.
It's one of those shots you kind of hope you don't have to throw.
Yeah.
But if you have to, it's good to be able to throw it that well. And that was a very technical shot, but it is well short.
Yeah, with that low ceiling, I know James is great with that putter, but I feel like you just need to throw something faster than that.
Josh is just going bullseye here. Beautiful shot.
That is his first park job of the round.
Get in there. Get in.
Great shot. Great recovery.
And we're finally going to get up to Paul's drive sometime. Here we go.
What a drive. Through the trees.
Past-
Nothing in the way.
Jeez. It's almost too easy. You take it for granted. It's just
Oh, a little rollback, but he's still inside circle 1.
that tree that he hit there is no more than 20 feet from the pin, so he's got like 25 left.
James, low ceiling bid. Tough to get it high enough.
And there's that. I mean, he did miss a putt inside the circle, hole 3 first round. I'm just being really particular right now, the mistakes he's making.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're very few and far between. So
A dropped shot, though, from what he would expect after that drive.
Mm-hmm.
But still just a par.
And I mean, it's crazy to think that James is within 7. James is playing well. But he's not doing anything particularly overly fascinating. Whereas
he's done a few fascinating.
Okay, all right. I don't mean to take away from his round.
Sure. But yeah, I know what you're saying.
It's just Paul's just, wow.
Hole 16, par 3, 391. This one, again, hazard rules, so you've got to really stick this green or else you're going to be putting with a penalty. The hazard wraps around the entire pin, so you can go wide forehand or backhand up the middle. Even turnover backhand around the outside is an option. You think he lays a roller here, or is he going air?
I think it's just air shot.
Looks like air.
Yep. I think this is old CE Leopard that just catches that inside limb that seems to catch so many of those turnover shots.
Yeah, you think you're home free once you get around the tree, and then there's that next limb. You don't really see it.
And not a lot of players, and certainly Josh doesn't quite have this distance for the forehand, but this
might be too wide.
He's got that skip angle. He's good. Come on, he's good. He's good.
Oh, look at him go. No relief from that rope, though, so it might play a little bit of a factor.
Oh, Zach, this is a hyzer lefty's dream, and Zach has dropped this one. He's going to be putting from the hazard area, no closer than 65 to 80 feet from the pin. And Jaime up the middle, MD4, and this is looking like a dream shot here.
Beautiful. Into the circle. Zach to save par. 60 feet. Ooh, good effort.
Yeah, good height, just a little bit early.
Paul with the rope a little bit in his footing. Doesn't bother him.
And James connects. Perfect putt.
Nice.
7 under in his round. It's a good score to have going into hole 17 and 18.
Josh in for par, and Zach has this for bogey.
And now the long transition to hole 17.
Hole 17, par 3, 254, going downhill. We're in the B pin, so a little bit more towards the center of the island, but ridiculously close to the hay bales. If you go about 30, 35 long, this pin is no more than 3 feet from the hay bales, I would say. So you have to be so careful on that putt. If you're chain high and you airball, almost certainly going to be going out of bounds, and I believe that's a reputt.
Mm-hmm.
Paul with the Nova.
I'm just
Going to
try to
go ahead and
ace it
real quick.
Golly.
What a shot. I don't think the putt will be stressful from that spot.
It's so good. Look at this is why the Nova is the most unique flying disc there is. If the camera had been in line with the basket and Paul, you'd see a disc that did not break an inch left or right.
James with a little higher line. Could it really be going long?
It looked like it had good touch.
Putter.
James wasn't as sure as we were, but that looked like they had all the touch it needed.
This is another one. You could throw an absolutely perfect ace, and in the first few seconds out of your hand, you hate it every time. That's just kind of how this hole works. I feel like when it comes out of your hand, you're like, oh no. But even when it's perfect.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely got all the pucker factor in the world. Let's see if Zach can make it 4 for 4 here on this scary island, hole 17.
It looks like a pretty good shot. Is it long enough?
Oh,
yeah, nearly aces
flashing
it.
the chains. Only the 4th hardest hole. This is typically first or second every year, every round, but a little bit relieving for the players this year.
And this is a scary putt.
Mm-hmm.
Good effort.
Yeah, and that's kind of the make that you want. It never had a chance to go over the hay bales, but just high enough to get over the rim.
Yep. Zach makes birdie as well. I expect Paul to do the same.
Melton flexing on him. And McBeth taking that lead to 8 strokes. Okay. 25 down through 2 rounds.
Not done yet. Hole 18, par 4, 647. This one's got it all. OB left, water carry, OB right, mandatory tree, slopey hill,
Elevated basket.
super tall basket, water behind the basket,
Trees.
trees. That one is a positive for you, as we found out. The trees you like, but the rest of that you could probably do without. Super, super tough. Try to throw a long straight drive and then play that like right-handed hyzer, just a slight kind of delicate hyzer trying to skip down this hill. As you can see, if you come in hot, it's going for a splash.
It's like a slightly easy par 5. It's a par 4 and it averages 4.75, the hardest hole in the course for good reason. It's treacherous. And, I'm
Safe shot for Paul there, but not a lot of distance.
good shot for Paul. Yeah, that gives him a really good shot to get that par. And I think that's all he's really trying to play for. You know that you can take a 6 in a heartbeat here, and that's just a disaster you need to avoid going in. You're having a great round, 12 down.
Yeah.
Take your medicine.
Zach with a big drive.
And this is pushing too high to the right. I think this is going to skip.
All the way up to the top of the hill,
Right.
beyond the mando tree. That's massive.
Wow. So he had enough distance there to clear all that out of bounds. Impressive shot there.
James, this is looking OB to me. This needs to sit down really quick.
I don't think it's going to. This is fading down, and that is out of bounds.
And out of bounds in a really unattackable position.
Yeah.
Like he's going to be pinched there where he pretty much just has to lay up. Best case bogey, I would think.
And Paul with the slightly attacking shot there, but that's just going to leave him in a position to putt down to the basket and tap in his 55.
No question layup there. Josh, this looks very good.
Good skip line, gets the skip, slides down to just inside the circle. Kind of a
scary putt.
a scary putt, yeah, but
See how aggressive James goes here. Pretty aggressive. Maybe he can get himself a putt. He does.
okay.
I don't know if I like it, but wow. I think he's probably going to run that.
It's James Conrad. He's running that putt. The basket's lit up. He got the sun in the perfect time of day.
True. Who could resist? And Zach going for the green here. It's got some, maybe too much speed.
Wow, that took
Yes.
a really unfortunate
Out of bounds.
big skip there, and he's going to have that putt. And 38 feet out. Let's give him 42.
Oh, easily. Oh, wow.
Yes.
That's a huge par save from there.
Wow.
Amazing putt.
Better than most.
Yeah.
Better than most. Awesome par save. The crowd loves it. I love it. You love it. Josh Anthon, not
he's
loving
not
it.
liking that one. Just inside the circle. Chains out left. Kind of a rough round for him. Here's Zach to save par. No, another bogey there. Paul lays up and... Oh. Make sure that equipment's right.
I don't take any risks.
Looks like a S-hook might have been lodged.
Tap in for...
What a round. What a start to the championship. 25 under, dominating play so far.
He's won over Ironman par. We call Ironman par 54 all par threes, and he's won over.
And that's insane.
On a par 67.
That's insane.
2 rounds. So that's going to be good every time, no matter what's going on with the rest of the people.
Here are the scores. McBeth 25, Conrad 17. Josh and Zach falling off the pace a bit. Here is your lead card for day 3. Paul McBeth, James Conrad, Paul Ulibarri, and myself snuck up in there. Back to the big show. Happy to be there.
Yeah, and we got another former champion in the mix too. And we got a couple of the, we got the BigSexy back on the leaderboard, which is the way it should be.
Yeah. We will see you guys tomorrow.